those L's, I couldn't sleep right now. I get paid, vacay, I'm staying B-side. Breaking the blues over steak, I gotta eat right. You could be my peace sign. I don't need bad energy around me. I just need sun, you're so cloudy. I wake up good, you're so grouchy. Please get from around me. When the truth don't work, you start telling lies. Thought you were down to ride, you weren't down to ride. Caught switching, you were picking sides. Don't blink, caught slipping like a slip and slide. I was shooting dice till I got a nosebleed. Money on the floor, can't get cold feet. Took an L, should've put it in the offering. Lord, forgive me for my sins, don't know of me. Scary thoughts, I got scary thoughts. Lost control, now I'm taking charge. Breaking bills, friends breaking off. You could be the youngest, I'm the dawn. Kiss the ring, nah. In the scene like GOT. Stay awake, don't sleep.
I was muted on YouTube. They heard me on TikTok, but I was muted on YouTube. All right, so how does the mic sound? Can people hear that? Actually, let me take this off. Can you guys hear that? Okay. So the topic of today's conversation, and I owe this to Jess from yesterday because she came up with a beautiful statement that is completely synonymous with everything that I've been talking about with regards to dealing with fears and things like that. Um, Fear is a liar. It is a liar. And shout out to Jess, she's here. You may be in both places. Shout out to Jess, shout out to Jamie, shout out to my lovely wife, Vegan Knowledge. You know, I need to get another phone so I can enlarge this stuff so I can see it. But shout out to everybody who is in both streams on TikTok and on YouTube. I welcome you. Um, I loved the energy that we had yesterday when we were talking about challenging your mind because, being somebody who has suffered with PTSD, um, it is not cool when fear creeps in and starts to debilitate you and starts to keep you from whatever it is that you're trying to do or accomplish. And it's a real thing, and people deal with it all the time. Some people deal with it all day long. And the purpose of these streams is to try to give you some empowerment and some support to let you know, hey, there are others out there who are going through it, and have found ways to kind of manage it, cope with it, get through it, and even heal it. So, like for instance, today, you know what I mean? I took the day off from working out because I didn't want to take any chances, but I was having chest pains this morning. I said, well, that's what you get for focusing on that whole heart attack thing and the Kevin Samuels thing, right? But I traced it back to the fact that I had lifted a 40 pack of waters this morning and it was a muscle pull. Even now, I'm still experiencing, oh, you know what? Oh, yeah, like when I go back like that, it's in here. Now, okay, let's examine that. Maybe 3, 4, 5 years ago, maybe even 2 years ago, I would have had a panic attack. Dawn would have taken that and ran with it. Okay? I would have been dying. It would have been, Elizabeth, I'm coming to join you, honey. Okay? It would have been, hey, honey, get 911 on standby because I might be going down. I don't know what the fuck's going on, but I'm having chest pains. Okay. I wouldn't have had the presence of mind, which comes from not buying into freaking fear and letting fear take over because shit happens, right? Shit happens. But when you let fear and anxiety creep in and be the icing on the cake with the situation, okay? Situation being the cake, the icing being the fear, that cake don't taste good. And it makes it worse than the actual situation itself. If I was having a heart attack, you know what I'm saying? And again, I'm going to stop beating a dead horse on that because we're not going to manifest it. But at the same time, it's almost like my body is reaching for that, like it wants to manifest it because I am focused. Because remember, universe doesn't care whether you want something or not. If you keep constantly putting your attention and energy on that thing, it will manifest. So all of that flowing through the mind, I could have taken it somewhere and ran with it. But because I have so disciplined myself about fear and the fact that fear makes things worse than what they actually are, they add to the soap opera, I was able to stay calm and then trace it back to the fact that, you've been working out hard and you lifted the waters and probably twisted yourself a little weird. And because I was able to not let fear creep in, I was able to just think it through. And the panic attack has not and still has not come, which means I'm healing. Which means I'm healing. If you are suffering with PTSD, and you have some type of post traumatic trauma that you're dealing with and you're still having residual feelings, sometimes you may not even realize it. But if you're feeling depressed or bad in some type of way and you can't explain why, chances are it's PTSD from something that happened to you. Okay. Or something you've seen happen to somebody else that's close to you or you've heard about it and your mind wants to take it and run with it because that's what our minds do, right? They take negative stuff and it runs with it and it creates a soap opera. And then here's the thing, when you add fear to it, it makes it 10 times worse. Then it's uncontrollable. Then, oh, it's the worst thing in the world. Okay. Here's what you got to realize about fear. And I've said this before. The cool thing, and I wish I could do that on here. Maybe I can figure out how to do that. But I've got a slide that says fear is just a feeling on YouTube. If you're not on my YouTube channel, it is J and J Video Reacts, the same as it is here. Go over there and subscribe. Join me, get in the comment section. And if you're following me on TikTok, thank you. I appreciate you. Refer it, share it out to people that want to talk about this. I'm going to start getting on TikTok and doing some TikTok rants and inviting people to come on in and do this with me, and YouTube as well. But yeah, fear, when you realize fear is just a feeling and it doesn't have any power other than what you give it, you can start to minimize it. You can start to kind of kick its ass a little bit and keep it from taking precious moments away from you. You know what I mean? And when you realize that, a sense of relief comes over. It's like, wait a minute, this is just a fear. It's not tangible. Now, I've said this before. What's intangible is way more powerful than what's tangible. Because think about what fear and anxiety do to you. Okay, it takes you through all kinds of changes. It makes you act a certain way. It makes your body react to it a certain way and depreciate faster. Your body's already depreciated, but it makes it depreciate faster when you have a low frequency because of a negative energy that you're feeling. So the fact that it's just a feeling, well, that's the best news, because if there is nothing else ever in this world that we are in control of, which control is an illusion, it's our feelings. That is the only thing that we can control in this crazy ass world. You can't control what happens inside of your body. You can't control what somebody else says or does about you, to you, whatever. But you can control how you think about something and how you feel about it, and what feelings you allow to take over, what thoughts you allow to progress into feelings to take over. Because once a thought becomes a feeling, you act off of it. Okay. But it's got to be a feeling first. All right. So that's the cool thing. The thought of something happening was there. The thought that something could have been wrong was there, but I didn't let it transpire into a feeling of fear. I kept it minimum, knowing what I know about if it turns into a feeling, you're fucked. Turn to fear, you're done. Okay? You might actually legit collapse and nothing would be wrong with you other than what you told yourself or thought might be wrong. So don't let that in. And I loved it because listening to DAUCHSY meditations at night, specifically the pink let go. There's a pink one that says let go. And that's my favorite one because it's got a lot of affirmations in it about letting doubt and worry go, because they don't serve you. Like, think about it. Whenever you were worried about, like, say you had a situation where your rent was due and you didn't have all of it. Okay. When the moment happened, when your landlord confronted you or whatever happened, did you make it through it? Guess what? If you're still here, you made it through it. If you're on this stream, you made it through it. Okay. And whatever happened as a result of that, if you got put out, what you made it through it. So whatever you imagined was your worst thing, it probably never happened. And if it did happen, so what? You made it through it, right? So there is nothing that is worth taking you down that road of worry, doubt, fear, because eventually it comes to pass, dudes. You make it the fuck through. So when you let fear keep you all like this in the moment, you could have been in that moment and been like, you know what? I pulled a muscle and kept it moving and accomplished something really good that day or in that moment, because you didn't let fear steal it. You didn't go off in a corner and just sit and, no, I think I'm having a hard time. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. You know what I mean? Not to mention what it does to others around you. Christ, my wife's already, got OCD. I don't want her, sitting there dealing with me having a fake heart attack like she doesn't already have enough to worry about. I did alert her to the chest pain because, of course, I want her to be able to, handle some shit if need be. That I can't say nothing. She needs to be forewarned. But unnecessary work, and it took me a while to even spit it out. But when it kept perpetuating, I'm like, okay, well, maybe I better say something just to be sure. Dude, if my eyes close and I slump over, hey, peace out. Love y'all. It's like, look, let me stop. See, that's what you got to do, though. You got to learn to play with it and play with your fears, and stop letting it bully you. You know what I mean? Don't let it take over. Learn to walk into what it is that you're afraid of. That feeling of fear of whatever it is, walk into it and sit with it for a minute and let it overtake you. Be scared and then realize, okay, what's going on now is nothing but a feeling. And I can take that and move on. That I can deal with. The situation, if you come to a place of acceptance of the worst case scenario, that dissolves that fear. And then it can keep coming for you, but then it's not quite the same. You know what I mean? Because you've already dealt with it. Don't suppress it. Deal with it. Feel it, you know? And then let it go on, because it won't have any power over you anymore because you've already confronted it, you know? Another thing, because it's just a feeling, fear can't stop you. Only you can stop you. Only you have the power to say, I'm going to let this, whatever it is I'm afraid of, take over so much that I'm just going to cease to do anything and allow it to paralyze you. It could be asking somebody out. It could be asking your boss for a raise. It could be having an uncomfortable conversation with your friend or parent or child or landlord. No, the rent's paid. You know what I mean? It could be, oh, well, I can't get this bill paid. Let me call Verizon and see what they say. And you're thinking they're going to just shut you down. You know, I had a tax bill a few years back, and I would hear all these commercials and all these attorneys talking about, yeah, call us. We can handle it for you. Okay. Yeah, I've got a tax bill. I could probably use your help. Okay, well, what's the situation? You break it down for them. And then they tell you, yeah, we can call, we can set up a payment arrangement, we can do that. And then the bill is worth more than the damn tax bill for doing it. I'm like, what? Okay, so I go from owing Uncle Sam to owing you guys. Let me call you back. So I call the IRS. Okay, yeah, we see that here. So what's up? Want to make a payment arrangement? Yeah. Can I do that? Like $50 a month, something like that? Really? And I don't have to pay you for this conversation, right? Get the. I would have paid thousands of dollars if I had let fear overtake me and buy into the people who sell off of fear. Don't let the IRS, heads up. Yeah. They're not like that. Okay. You may get an asshole. Yeah. But no, that's all bullshit. They're not like that. Okay. If you got a tax bill, call them. They like it when you come to them. Then they don't have to come for you. See how it works? So when you go to them, they are, okay, you called us, so all bets are off. What's up? How can we help? Because, yeah, you owe us some money. What can you pay? Okay, and then work it out. You can do that, and it does not cost you a dime. But if you let fear tell it, oh, they're going to come take your house, your car, So you got to let fear be minimized. You got to control it. You can't let it control you. That's something that I learned just by walking into scenarios that I was afraid of, that I thought were worse than what they are. But your mind does that. It creates a soap opera and runs away with you. Harness it. Remember, it's just a feeling. It's not the actual situation. When you have that happen, remember this. Okay, you know what? It's just a feeling. Let me kind of get control of this real quick, because it's just a feeling. Shit ain't happening. You know what I mean? It ain't actually happening. And if it does happen, you'll deal with it in that moment. And you're more resilient than you think you are. That basically is the whole gist of the conversation. Act anyway. Act in spite of fear. I listened to a book a while back, Secrets of a Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker, and it changed my life From that point on, I vowed I would never work for anybody again. And I haven't in 15 years. Jen and I ran a successful delivery business for a long time, and he teaches in that book that millionaires and people that have acquired wealth, one of the things that helped them to do that was to do things that most people are afraid to do, like promote your business. A lot of people don't like to sell because they have a fear of rejection. I don't like to be told no. And then he talks about basically how, fear does not stop people who have acquired wealth from acting on whatever it is. Laziness doesn't stop them. Like, oh, I feel like it. They act in spite of it being inconvenient. They act in spite of being hurt. Look at Michael Jordan. He played one of his best games sick with the flu. They act anyway. It's not that they don't get scared. It's not that they don't get sick. It's not that they don't have bad things happen, but they don't let it stop them. Why? Because they recognize that it's just a freaking feeling and it's not a brick wall that you can't move. It's a feeling that you can actually control. And how do you control it? You got to get some different thoughts in there. You got to get some different thoughts other than the ones that are causing the fear. Okay? After you confront the fear and say, what the hell is it that I'm scared of? Okay, I'm scared of this. Okay, if that happened, what would be the next steps? And come to terms with it and accept it. Once you do that, you will be surprised how much you feel that feeling of fear dissolve almost instantaneously. It's very liberating. It's very liberating. And then the more it happens, you get practice. Oh shit, here it comes again. Don't be mad. It's good. It's practice. You need it. You need it to come for you because you have to practice it. One of my favorite quotes from an actress back in the day, Mary Tyler Moore. You can never learn to be brave if you've only had wonderful things happen to you. That is not. I can't think of anything that's more true. If you've not been challenged, how do you expect to grow? If you don't work out, how do you expect the muscles to get stronger and build? If you don't fast and change your diet, how do you expect the weight to go away? Well, if you don't have fearful thoughts that you replace with others after you've learned how to accept that which you're afraid of and do that every time it happens, without the practice, how do you think you're going to get good at doing that? You're not. It has to happen. A healer has to have sickness in order to learn how to heal. Sucks, but that's how it works. Practice. Kobe Bryant got good. Why? Because he practiced. So act anyway. Confront it. Go straight into it. If you have to replace it with anger, get mad at the fear. And that way you can harness it, get control of it, choke the hell out of it because it's pissing you off, because it's taking you out of what you want to do. I can't see what's over there. But so what I'm going to do, I'm going to, you know what, Jess, if you could screenshot these for me, that would be amazing. Okay, well, maybe Jen can read some. Thank you for doing that, by the way. I got your screenshots. That was amazingly. By the way, guys, give it up for Jess for Fear is a Liar. Okay. That is actually her on this thumbnail. Yes, I am going to say it. she said it. She gets credit for it. I love that. But yeah, so I don't know. Did I lose you, Jeff? Oh, there we go.
You know what?
Hey, honey.
Hey, can you hear me?
Can you hear me? I can.
Okay, let me turn my phone down. Sorry about that. I was trying to pull up TikTok and YouTube. I was trying to do too many things at once, and then
How do I sound?
you sound good. Like I hear a little bit of static, like every now and then, but um, I don't really hear. It's not too bad.
What about this? Testing, testing.
Yeah, that sounds
Get that?
really good.
Okay.
Because I used to not hear the static. That just started like recently. It seems
Yeah, I
like.
went. I started messing with the cords to the mic at the
Mhm.
beginning of the stream, which I should have done this beforehand and done like a test run. But then I ended up dropping some stuff on the desk and it was a mess. But I got it cleaned up and repositioned the wires. So hopefully that has made a difference. Shout out to everybody who is on TikTok and YouTube watching this stream and participating in it.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for coming and joining in the midday fun, the midday therapy.
Shout out to my beautiful white vegan knowledge. And Meatless Monday was phenomenal yesterday.
Yes, I had
Link.
so much fun. Thank you so much for coming on there.
I have a link to it in the stream if you guys have ever thought about becoming vegan. And there is a Million Seed Summit coming up about child nutrition with regards to plant-based diet. I didn't put that link in there. I'll when we're done here, I'm going to go back and put that link in there as well. If you want to register, it's in December, right, Jen?
Yes, I think it was December 3rd through December the 6th. And I'm just having a little bit of issues with my mic, so if I drop and come in, I just want to let you know I'm not leaving. I just might have to fix it, so I can get it to talk into my ear. But that was really, really fun. Thanks, Meryl. If you're listening, I sent her the link to your stream so that when she could listen in, she could come on here
Shout
too
out to
because
Meryl Fury. She
she
is
has
amazingly awesome.
so many different things that she had like her titles, so I'm sure that she can speak on these topics or at least chime in the comments or at least do kind of listen in because I think everything leads to our mind like we were talking about, so that's why this is such an important platform for us to come on and talk. And you reminded me of something that you said earlier, which made me want to jump in when you said that about like things that we are like scared of. And then once we finally do it,
Yeah.
it's not as scary as we thought. That reminds me of that story in our mind that we're making up,
Hmm.
that thing that has never happened, but we're thinking this is what's going to happen. And if you really talk to most people, there are very few situations where you said that you didn't say that wasn't as bad as I thought.
Right.
That's
Absolutely.
why that's a key phrase that everybody says, like, if you start to think it's almost like it's important to just do something before you even go into too much overthinking about it. Like, if like you said about that, if there's a bill or something that you're afraid of, or instead of thinking, dude, we're going to be sitting in the dark with no lights, that will likely lead me to have to pay that bill. They probably won't be able to, split it up if it was too high. The next
Right.
thing, I won't be able to pay any other bills. I won't be able to pay my rent. Then I'm not going to have a place to live. All of a sudden, you're living in a paper
Boom.
bag outside,
Right.
and all of a sudden you call and it's like, oh, yes, ma'am, no problem. We could split that over 12 months or something, and it's like, oh, that call, just facing the fear and making the
That's
call
it.
would have been
Really?
so much easier than all of that contemplating. "No, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow," because that's something I'll
And
do
putting it off
sometimes.
and
I'm
putting
like,
it off and
"I
putting it off.
I'm going to put something off till tomorrow so I can worry about it another day and really feed my pain body. I want to just stress about this a little bit longer." It sounds crazy when you say it out loud rather than, and you've kind of really helped me with that, to be able to just face things head on when there's a problem, to not contemplate over it too much because then you'll end up taking yourself all over the place.
Yeah. It'll happen. It'll happen. And it's definitely very debilitating. It's paralyzing and it's no fun, you know? So it's like, why subject yourself to it if it's unnecessary? Because it doesn't change anything. You worrying about that bill doesn't get the bill paid.
But you calling, and getting it taken care of will get it paid. I mean, will at least let you know. It's either you're going to worry about what happened or you're going to end up with whatever your fear is. So you might as well know, because thinking about something that's not
Was that a
maybe.
gift? Do that again because I think that said accept. I have got to. Oh my God, I gotta figure out.
Let me
Yeah, we're
see.
gonna have to get on the
Live.
phone
Let
next
me see if someone can come. I forgot to read the TikTok comments here. Let's see. Jesse said, "Oh, wait a minute. Is this today's live? Oh no, I'm on the video you made with the song on it somehow. Ah, here we go. Now I see you sitting in your chair. That's perfect. All right. So we've got. Okay, so I joined. Okay, we got it. Everybody's on here. And you want me to see if it's a gift? I don't know really how to tell on my end.
Something
Would it
just
even say
popped
it?
up. It was a white box. I'm still getting used to this, and I think it said something, but I'm thinking back. I think there was a red box on it that may have said accept. I'm not
Here,
sure.
I'm going to send something so that you know what it looks like. Do you
Okay,
see a rose?
where would it be?
I don't know, but I sent it to you. Jesse is our TikTok expert. TTE, we're going to call you TikTok expert.
You know what?
You have really pretty eyes.
Thank you.
You're right in my iPhone.
Ah, I get it.
We'll figure it out and we'll
Yeah.
thank them for their gifts.
If you sent it
Made
to
a rude comment saying the pic was used because of your makeup. Who said that?
huh?
Someone made a rude comment or something like that she posted on TikTok, but I don't know the context of the conversation. They better not have made a rude comment.
Nobody got time for that.
I told Jessie that she's gonna be able to get money when you're rich for that photo being used. Like
You
every
know
time
what?
somebody
That's
clicks it.
so funny. Haters gonna come hate, man. So what? Did anybody say anything about the picture of the woman that I used yesterday? Whether it was makeup or not. Jess made the comment. That's why I used the picture. And which picture I used has no bearing on anything at all. But you know what I'm not gonna do? I'm not gonna buy into any type of anger. But hey, it is what it is. I used the picture. So what? So what? Ow! I would do it again. Ow! I would do it again. What do you want me to find the ugliest picture of her there is and put it on there? What do you want? Get a life. Grow up.
Right. Yeah, like, get get something else to do rather than be jealous of people, right? Like I find that most things that happen when people make rude comments, it's something that is like we're talking about on this show, it's something that is within them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know if it was somebody joking around on there and I'm taking this out of context and I'm not sure because I didn't see what came up. I
If
just
it was
only
a
saw
joke,
that.
no biggie. That's cool.
Wait a minute, what do you say about my jokes? They're so funny, I forgot to laugh. But yeah, this is really I remember when that comment was made yesterday about fear is a liar because it is our brain and our fear just most of it is just stories and lies and I love that you're bringing that, to the forefront and helping us deal with that because, it can be so scary sometimes
Yeah.
in your mind, but when you look at the reality of the situation, nothing has happened.
And the worry about it and the fear of it only made it worse than what it actually was. Life is already gonna throw shit at you. But when you add your own fear on top of it, you just make it worse. And some people, like people with agoraphobia, they can't even walk outside. And that's a real thing. That's a real disease. People suffer with that. And I feel so bad because I don't know what I would do if I walked outside and I just, you ever, and I told you this before, there was a movie that kind of gave me an inkling of what it might be like to have that, called Copycat, with Harry Connick and Sigourney Weaver. And she had agoraphobe. She was an agoraphobic, and she walked outside, and it would be like the world was melting. And of course, it was an effect that they used. But she was inching along the sides of her wall, trying to get down to pick up her newspaper. Like, it was that paralyzing for her to be outside of her apartment. Like, she was holding on to her building like it was spinning around, and she'd fall off the earth if she let go. I'm like, wow, is that what that's like? So, I mean, I know art imitates life and life imitates art, and there's a movie, but I would imagine that I mean, it's a real thing. People that are afraid shitless to go out. So, that's how they depicted it. But I can't imagine living in that much fear. But it happens. There are people like that. And I hope these streams reach people like that and help them to realize that, okay, if she went through some type of fear and she dealt with it, and it may not be anywhere near that level, but fear, just the same, you know? Fear is fear is fear. I don't care if you're, scared of gaining weight or scared of being shot at. Fear is fear is fear. And the only thing we have to fear is fear. The fear hurts you worse than the actual incident.
Thank you. Sorry, I finally got it fixed.
Uh-huh. So, I don't really have a whole hell of a lot more. I think we pretty much, nailed it to the wall there. That's what I wanted to talk about today. And I had maybe that's why I was having the chest pains, Jen, because I was supposed to talk about that. you know?
So, like your streams are coming to life. Your life is dictating the stream instead of the stream dictating life,
Right.
right? Or the
I like
topic
that
comes
statement.
from the heart, literally.
Stop letting fear lie to you.
Yeah.
Stop
Because
letting
it makes
fear
us
lie to you.
illogical. That's one of the things that I was thinking about earlier, both times when you talked about the anxiety that you had, and this has happened to me before when when I was younger and something physical would happen, I probably would have just, like you said, shrugged
Shrug
it
it
off.
off,
Like,
right?
hey, this is just, it is what it is. I'm not worried, when you were working out or something as you're younger, you get a little pain and you're like, oh, that's that pain. I probably need to drink some water or something. You
That's
think
right.
very logically,
And that's
and
right. But
then
when you get in your
even in your
30s,
30s,
40s, and
I
50s, and 60s, and stuff like
I
that.
was still like that in my 30s. I think it's the 40s, the mid 40s that started to happen. A lot of it for me anyway. And then, like, if you think about it, you said, oh, I lifted this item and I twisted, I could trace it back to that. However, your mind wanted to logically be logical and tell you
Yeah,
this, but your fear was lying to you and saying, oh no, I'm going to put that little bit of doubt in. What if it's this? What if it's that? When you're trying to think logically, when I'm trying to
right,
think about, what we talked about OCD, we try to go ahead and present it to ourselves. We try to talk to ourselves in a sense to talk ourselves out of the anxiety, but it doesn't allow you to sometimes. It keeps creeping up,
and
creeping
that's
up.
more opportunity to practice
Yeah.
overcoming. That's how I look at that. I used to look at that. Oh, here it comes again, man. Oh, this day. Now it's like, okay, come on, come for me. What are we scared of now? You know what I mean? Oh, okay,
Yeah.
really? Okay, well, if this happens, that, and that. You know
Yeah,
what I
I
mean?
think
And
that's the way you have to take its power away, right? Like,
yeah,
you almost have to disempower that
debilitate
fear.
the fear instead of the fear debilitating you.
Yes, because it will, and it creates problems with your body.
Yes,
Like you said, it's
after
cyclical.
prolonged,
Oh, that's a good word.
huh?
That's a big word. I said it's cyclical. I don't think I've ever said that out loud before. I've heard people say it, and I was like, it just flowed right on out there. Look at this.
Just work for a
These
little
streams
bit.
are making me so eloquent.
Okay, see now you stepping over. Now you're trying to make say all kinds of words now.
Right? It's Big
This
Word
is my
Tuesday.
word, and now she becomes a walking dictionary.
I've heard people speak like that though. It's
Oh
like I have
man,
no idea. I've got to Google your sentence because I don't know what in the world you just said, but
shout
I'm
out,
happy for you.
shout out to Dex Crockett. They
Yes, he's
tease
got
him
some good
on
ones.
Flight Sports. Shout out to Flight Sports TV. They tease him on that for that because Dex will come up with those big words. Hoop jargon, hoop jargon, jargon is a good name for him because he can come up with some words, man. He'll make you pull the dictionary out, you know. But and these are people who know what those words mean, you know. So, but and more power to them. Shout out to Ball Facts. Awesome videos on LaMelo Ball too. Ball Facts, by the way. I just checked them out. They were amazing. But yeah, you can't let it run away with you. You can't let it debilitate you. You have to take control of it.
Exactly. I think that's the important part is first identifying it and not running
Realize
from
it's
it
just a
because
feeling, and you have control. You have the ability to be able to expunge that feeling by dealing with it, walking head on into it, and feeling that feeling of fear and dealing with whatever it is that you're imagining is going to happen, and realize that that's your imagination first, and it's brought on by just a thought and a feeling of fear.
and
You
in
know,
some
replace that
cases,
feeling with gratitude that that situation isn't happening
right.
in that moment.
And I love the part that is that you mentioned earlier, if necessary, take some type of action in order to face that fear. And whether it be talking down your fear, if it's something really illogical that's never happening and you're just worried about something that probably popped into your head, or it's something
Right.
just as simple as I'm scared that my electric will be turned off. That would be something you want to go ahead and make that call and say, hey, what can we do? Open up to somebody about it and ask for help, which is something I have a heck of a hard time with a lot of times. You know what I mean? Like, no, I got it. I'm going to be able to pay the whole thing. And it's like at the end, it's like, okay, let me call and see if I can get a double payment or something. Like, fine. It's the day of. I
Right.
understand. I didn't all of a sudden become a millionaire from like the
They need
lottery
to
or
store it
from
for a month.
all of a sudden I got 27 hours of overtime out of the
Hey,
blue.
great. You know, I can
uh,
redirect that money to another bill, get them off my back, and then pay it. So there's
you
all
can
kinds
make a yeah take a make a what is it called, a plan, like, yeah, like they
I told
talk
them about
about.
the tax thing that time that I dealt with a few years
Hmm.
ago. You know, I mean, people have all these fears about the IRS, but they're actually quite reasonable if you call them a deal and talk to them. You don't have to pay these lawyers thousands of dollars to talk to the IRS for you.
Because
If
they're
somehow
going to do
you
exactly what
talk
you
to
can
them,
do.
yeah,
It's
you
like
know,
paying extra for delivery in a sense. Like you could go get it, but sometimes you pay for the convenience of it. People are
it's
so
what you
scared to
do.
talk to the IRS that they will pay somebody just to call them. And like you said, they're not that scary when you talk to them. You've had
No, you
me.
walk into more debt because now you owe the IRS and you owe them.
Here's
So you got to make
something
the
else.
IRS pay, you got to make a payment to them,
I
or they
just
pay it off and then you owe them, but it's more than what you owe the IRS. It's crazy.
Exactly. So that can be like something that you can do, take action, face the fear. And then I was thinking sometimes if you're having something going on in your body that you don't even know where it's coming from,
Hmm.
sometimes you can trace it back to a fear that it hasn't even come to the forefront like of your mind. Like you don't even know that there's something in there, like you said. So if you experience a issue and that, like you said about taking some deep breaths and stuff, sometimes if you really look to the core of it, that's why fears, if you don't face them, can actually, like you said, affect your physical being.
Yes,
Like you said, when you get more scared, something becomes worse. And
right.
so it's exhausting your body and your mind at that point.
Yeah,
It's just like food after time. If you add in food that's not good for you, it adds up just like those thoughts and those fears. And so that's
yeah,
why it's important that we keep as good as we can on this good frequency. We get it out if we're feeling worried. Do things you enjoy. Try to, relax as much as possible and, take care for yourself and enjoy what you do. Be grateful in the moment.
yeah. And
Those are the things I've gotten from your whole streams for the last week. I just said them all like in succession, I think.
awesome.
I
I
like
mean,
Dawn's
it's
quotes.
true. And all of it is very true. Like the black wall that we were talking about. If you picture a black wall and try to empty your mind of all thought for 15 minutes a day, just find 15 minutes and just focus on black. You don't see anything, or white, whatever. Just focus on blankness and breathe and let go of all thought. It kind of helps keep you clear throughout your day. You know what I mean? So take that time for your mental health, and your physical health will benefit from it as well.
E-
Do things like a plant based diet. If you're worried about getting sick, well, there are things you can do to prevent that. You can go on a plant based diet and give your body what it actually needs to be able to heal itself properly. And that way, when you are faced with situations, your body is equipped to handle it, you know?
Exactly. Like we were talking about the working out, being prepared, working out the mind
Yes.
and thinking like we talked about that before. Like I literally think about these streams whenever I'm going through something. It's
Uh,
so cool. It's like as soon as I start to get in a vibe or I feel like, oh, something's going on, you know what?
yeah.
Have you drank a lot of water today?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
I'm sipping on it.
I'm
Yeah.
still over here trying to,
Don't
looking
stop.
after you.
You stop thinking. It's fine. I'm fine.
Well, so I was just thinking about something else you said that water is like the natural like solvent. Sometimes if I drink a bottle of water, if I'm feeling anything weird, even whether it's emotionally or physically, it always like it's kind of cleanses my body.
And it does. It does. It helps loosen things up. Water actually gives you energy. A lot of people don't
Yeah.
understand that. Drinking a gallon of water a day actually energizes you. You
Who
know,
would think that water would give you energy, you know? Who would think that
coffee
something
has
little like
distinction, right? But who would have thought that you can actually be energized by drinking just plain water as well?
well, I think it energizes me, but I ain't giving up the coffee yet. I'm not there yet. It could be watered down coffee.
So coffee, my decaf, it tastes like
Yes.
regular coffee. So,
I
and
think
I
I
love
like the feeling of I've developed a taste like I like coffee, but in the beginning it was definitely because of the energy and
the
the
shot, just give
feeling.
me a shot of caffeine.
Yes, it's not natural. It's well, it is natural. It's a bean, so it's the bean. I love that story. Like we talk about, and you are definitely coffee beaning all of us. And coffee beaning has now become a what do you call it? Is that no an adjective verb? I don't know. What is that called when
What
it's just
now?
is it a noun like coffee beaning? An act of coffee
That would
beaning.
be a verb. Yeah,
Verb, yeah, it's become
created a
a
new
verb
verb.
now. When coffee becomes a verb, that's next month's stream. No, just kidding. But that aura that you put off and that positive vibe and the good things that you present bring to all of us a part of you, which means that like even if we come in or the even if we're coming in with boiling water, we might have had a rough day, or something happened, or we're thinking about something that happened maybe from yesterday or from our childhood or whenever that we're
Right.
feeling negative about. The fact that you can take that through the airwaves through TikTok and YouTube and put that into our mind to not only help right now, but then to help later on when we start to feel that
Put it
again,
in
we
your
can
bag.
remember these things.
Put it in your arsenal and use it. If you don't need it right now, there will
Mhm.
eventually come a situation or a time where you feel like you can use it. And that's the
Yeah.
thing. These streams will go on forever. You know what I mean? As long as YouTube's around. So I was just
Even if
saying,
not, because I share them on my Facebook. They're going to be everywhere,
I've
even
never
YouTube.
seen Prince live, but now I've seen him live several times because of YouTube. Shout out to Purple Rain Tube.
That is cool. Well, shout out to your channel tonight. It's Takeover Tuesday,
It's
right?
Open Tuesday, baby. Woo
I'm
woo!
excited.
We're
Let's talk.
going to
We
discuss
get
all
out of
things
the depths of our own.
90 Day Fiance. You know what I mean? Actually, I was finishing up watching that, so I'll probably go back to that because I actually did not watch Single Life last night. So I will go ahead and get that watched. I watched
Oh,
Happily Ever After, so we
let me
will be
catch up.
discussing it tonight at what 7:30.
Yes, 7:30. Is that what you do? 8 o'clock, 7:30, right? 7:30
If I'm running late, it'll be 8 o'clock, but most likely it'll be 7:30, and it usually
in
goes
that
for about
range.
an hour. So yeah, just like this one.
That's
So
cool. Let me see if I have any comments here to read for you before we go,
okay,
if you don't mind.
sounds
So, how's everybody doing? Anybody have any last minute comments or anything you want to share? I've got here. Let's see. Oh, Jesse Boss, thank you for coming. You are the boss, I'm telling you. TikTok boss. And she said it was fear that turned me to anger, but letting it go, who cares? Yeah, like I think fear in most cases translates to anger. Hurt translates to anger. And everything and anger is not like a good feeling to have. Like you don't want to be angry, but when we can identify what it really comes from, that's what I was saying before. Those I messages and getting into yourself and figuring out why do I really feel this way? Like when
right.
you start to feel mad about something, I find half of the time it's not that you're mad at the person, you're mad about how whatever they did
Mad at
made
the
you
situation.
feel.
You're mad at
Eh,
the situation, and situations change every day. They're not you. You are not your mind. You're not your situation. So you have to remember that if you stay steady, solid as a rock, and keep yourself clear, situations change all the time, for the better, for worse, whatever, but they change all the time. As long as you're steady, that's all that matters, you know?
and that is it. Sometimes I look at TikTok and your mouth is still moving, so I
Yeah.
stop talking when I'm about to talk. I'm like, oh wait, but then I realize it's a delay. I love it.
Mm.
Um, and she said that what did I feel like I missed it here? Which one was it? YouTube or was it? Oh, hey, welcome. Somebody just joined, I believe, and then I lost it here. Oh, it disappeared. So I'll need to get better with TikTok. But thank you for joining, whoever it was. If someone joined, I saw somebody pop in there, and then it like clicked off my screen. It might be I've got too much stuff streaming at the same time. But wow, thank you everyone for coming. I know there are some people listening that can't comment, maybe because they might or might not be working, but didn't
Definitely.
he
I
didn't hear
think
it from me.
don't forget to smash the like button. Follow me over on TikTok or subscribe over on YouTube if you haven't already. And shout out to the crew. We are now at 589.
Whoa,
Woo-hoo!
589. All right. Oh my
Yep,
goodness, we're almost at that 59.
yep.
590. We're
We're
going to
almost
be at that 610. I'm already
we
jumping
just
ahead
got
of
to
600.
1700 on TikTok. Sweet. Thank you guys
All
so much
right.
for
I
following
love
and
it. Then we're
subscribing. I
getting the word
appreciate it.
out. You know
So
what
yeah, we're
really
working
helps
on
too?
10,000 on YouTube. So get on over there and subscribe if you haven't already. J and J Video Reacts with the ampersand. J and J Video Reacts. Type it in. Go on in there. Subscribe. Like the videos. Watch some of the other live streams and leave comments. Let me know what you guys think. If there's anything that you're dealing with that you want to talk about as a topic, let me know. Let me know.
I think too what really helps is if whether it's TikTok or whether it's YouTube, because these streams can you might have somebody on your like timeline not only to get subscribers, but obviously if they do subscribe and this helps them, then that's another positive. But like what I
Yeah,
do is because some people never want to come on a stream and say, they may not be ready to be vulnerable and open up and say, hey, you know what, I'm dealing with anxiety, fear, OCD, any of the things that we talk about, the PTSD, how we just can deal with life, in a better way, and the techniques that you're sharing. However, they might take and listen to the replay, when and they might see something that
maybe
triggers like,
strong.
hey, So I think sharing these really helps. I love that we it's just not when it's live, like you can
Yeah.
still,
There's a
come
lot
on
of
and
people
listen.
that I share their stuff or that I get in on the
Mhm.
replay game if I'm not able to be there at the live. So yeah, the replay game is strong and much appreciated as well. And that's where the comments come in. If you're joining on the replay game, leave a comment, on what we talked about. And if you have something to offer, put it in there. That may help someone who's reading it.
Yeah, definitely. I leave a lot of advice, and maybe not advice, but I leave a lot of comments, and sometimes it is, things that I can help people with, based on their comments. So, um, like on Facebook and then on YouTube sometimes too. So it's all, every comment is appreciated. Someone that took their time to, comment and that takes their time, even if they chime in on our streams for like a minute or two, it's so appreciated. I know, um,
How
we're
about
just
Facebook
thankful.
trying to compete with the reels, huh?
I know, right?
Everybody's
We're
got into reels since TikTok. YouTube, Facebook. I'm like, wow,
for reals.
everybody's keeping it real.
We were both doing our own. Oh, you're just trying to. Oh, I can't say that as a vegan. Reel us in, the poor fish. You are really a real person.
Somebody stop her. But guys, thank you so much. Jess, thanks for joining. Thank you guys. Anybody who has joined this stream, we're on at 12:30 every day talking about the things that we need to do to get through this crazy thing called life, baby, as Prince
Woo.
said.
Thank you for everything you do for us, and I'll get to work. Thank you for
All
this
right.
beautiful motivational midday lunch.
Not a problem. See you guys tomorrow.
Thank you. See ya.
See ya. I think I'm hitting the right button. There we go.